How do you change someone's mind? This is one of the most challenging aspects of marketing. So let's think about it in our day-to-day lives. When somebody has the opposite opinion of ours, how do we address them? Usually what we do is we gather statistics, we gather facts, we gather research, and we present what seems like an objective argument as to why that person should change their mind. But often this has the exact opposite effect. People, instead of coming to your side or believing what you're saying, they actually just dig their feet in deeper and become more entrenched in beliefs they already had. So they're going to argue that the statistics you gathered are from a study that was biased, was funded by a company or a special interest group that is opposed to you, or they're going to say that the data were cherry-picked, or they're going to say that what you're measuring is something that simply cannot be measured. So this is particularly true when you're trying to convince somebody who has an opposite opinion. So for example, somebody that is already convinced to go with a competing solution to the one that you offer. So what do you do in that situation? If providing facts, if providing objective evidence doesn't help, what does help? Well, the answer is actually very counterintuitive. It's exactly what you're taught not to do in the academic world and the scientific world. And that is to use anecdotes. You are not using broad-based statistical evidence. You're using story-based anecdotal evidence that helps move people to the opposite opinion. And this is particularly effective when you're talking about very personal, emotional, and negative situations. So for example, somebody who was suffering, or a company that was suffering because they were using one solution and things really got out of hand. They really went terrible, and then they found your solution and bam, it was like a miracle that saved their life or saved their company. So that's very relevant when you're having an argument in your personal life, right? Somebody has a different political view or something like that. But how does that transfer to the real world of marketing when you're trying to convince people to buy your product? Well, the simple answer is case studies. There's a very interesting article from Harvard Business Review, and I'll include it in a link in this course. And what it says is, looking at all the different types of content marketing that there is out there, there is one that remains the best and the one that people want to read the most, and that is the case study. These are stories about anecdotal successes, and that is how you persuade somebody and change their mind.